In this box is the Chiopt Xtreme Compact Zoom Full Frame Lens with a focal length of 28-85mm with a continuous t-stop of 3.2. You might not have heard of Chiopt, though this is their first rodeo of making a cine lens, but Chiopt has more than a decade of experience developing and manufacturing lenses. In this box we get a really nice carrying case with several accessories. But the protagonist of this video is the lens itself. The Chiopt Xtreme is a full frame lens that comes in different flavors of mounts of PL, EF and Sony E-Mount. But this mount is also swappable if needed. I really like that they made this an EF mount option. If you are using a mirrorless camera, you can take advantage of adapters from EF to RF, EFM, L, Micro Four Thirds, X, Z and probably a few more mounts that you can adapt it to. But also use specialty adapters with a built-in ND or speed booster. Now let's check out some of the footage I have filmed with this Chiopt Xtreme. The Chiopt Xtreme being a cine lens, we can expect all the standard features of having a clickless aperture and standard gears that work with any follow focus. You can find the focus distance in metric on the left side and in imperial on the right. The focus stroke is 288 degrees, so it's easier to get a precise focus, and the minimum focus is at 70 centimeters or 2 feet and 3 inches. When rec focusing, there is a very minimal focus briefing and you have to look very carefully to even notice it. At its minimum focus at 85mm, you are able to get a nice close-up shot. But it is a tad soft wide open and needs to be closed down to f5.6 to get a sharp image again. However, focusing on things more than a meter away or at a wider focal length, you are still able to get a sharp image wide open. The front of this lens does not have a front filter thread, but the 114mm front diameter makes it work properly with a small rig matte box, which you can add a professional 4x4 or a 4x 5.65 filter. But there are also a few brands that make filters that clamps onto lenses with a 114mm diameter. The Chiopt Xtreme is parfocal, meaning that when you zoom in or out, the focus stays at the same spot, which is really great for rec zooms as you don't need to refocus while zooming. In the case we can find a gasket box with shims. With these you can back focus the lens to achieve a proper parfocal zoom, as not every camera mount is perfect and minor differences in the mount can affect the focus while zooming. Though using shims needs a lot of trial and error to get the correct focus, I wish it had a built-in back focus system like broadcast lenses, which are easier to back focus with. Though the zoom range of 28-85mm is quite uncommon, it does cover the commonly used focal lengths nicely. With the aperture being T3.2, it's not the fastest zoom lens out there, but it still is enough to get a nice shallow depth of field. but it also keeps the brightness the same throughout the zoom range, as you don't see any brightness shift when zooming. The weight of this lens is dependable on its mount, being 2.7 kilograms with a PL mount, 2.75 for an EF mount, and 2.8 kilograms for an E-Mount. When using lenses this heavy, a lens support is recommended, as it is a lot of weight hanging on a small mount on your camera. Under the lens there is a support mount which you can get specific support that screws into it. But I personally went with a universal support that holds the lens up. But I would suggest to use the screw-in support that would hold the lens better in place when you are using a autofocus. When using this lens handheld, it's quite a workout, and I can feel the weight of it holding it up just for a few minutes at a time. Overall, the Chiopt Xtreme is an extreme awesome lens for anybody looking for a Cine Zoom lens for their full frame or speed boosted Super 35 or Mic Four Third camera, but also without the extreme price tag attached, as other brands of full frame Cine Zoom lenses might cost you well over $20,000, while the Chiopt Xtreme will cost you less than $3,000. Chiopt already has plans for more Cine lens releases, like the 75 to 250mm T3.2, which is in the same series and style as the Xtreme. These two full-frame Cine Zoom lenses will cover a good range for most users, and I am looking forward to their future releases and testing them out. Hope you found this a very interesting video. If you really like it, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!